wanted to shoot a quick video about something interesting about the Jedi Holocron from Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Now, I'm going to be doing a review of this Holocron and the Sith Holocron a little bit later down the road, but when I sat down to do that review, my Jedi Holocron started acting in an unexpected way. So I wanted to show this to you guys. I've been doing a little bit of research online and asking around, and I've discovered that there are a few people who have Holocrons that are doing this, and there's a fix to it. But I wanted to show you what happens when you corrupt a Jedi Holocron. So usually when you have a Jedi, or the Jedi Holocrons light up blue, and the default voice when you don't have a kyber crystal in them is quotes from Obi-Wan. So usually that's the case. Then you put any of the holocrons in them except for a red, and you end up with quotes from whoever is programmed into that specific, kyber crystal. All right, but let me show you what happened to mine. Go ahead and turn this on. All right, now you can see it's lighting up red. And let me go ahead and activate what would happen, usually, if we didn't have a kyber crystal in it.
We are Sith. Do you know who I am?
Alright, so this is a corrupted Jedi Holocron. It's defaulting to a red light. It's also defaulting, instead of Obi-Wan, to Darth Bane. Let me show you a little bit about what happens when I put different crystals in it. Oh. Here's a purple. Alright, it still picks up the crystal and adapts the color of the holocron, but this crystal is supposed to be Mace Windu. Let's see who we get.
What do you know about the Force? The Force is not a power you have. It's not about lifting rocks. It's the energy between all things, the tension, the balance that binds the universe together.
Alright, and there we have Luke. Now, a Sith Holocron won't play Luke, so this thing is only sort of a Sith Holocron. Let me go ahead and pop my Ahsoka crystal in here. Again, the light is appropriate.
I will teach you the ways of the Jedi.
And once again, we have Luke. I'll pop a green crystal in here. This is a Yoda crystal.
I will not be the last Jedi.
And once again, we have Luke. We'd get Luke with the yellow crystal, we'd get Luke with the blue crystal. The blue crystal actually is a Luke crystal, so it plays this one, which is the other Luke track. If I pop a red crystal in, something interesting happens. Usually a Jedi Holocron will only read a red crystal as the default Yoda voice.
Your conflict becomes clear. I am helping you. You believe that, but you must learn to see things differently now. But I can teach you to see, if you're willing.
Alright, so I pop a red crystal in, and what I get is Bendu. Now, Bendu is the neutral force being, and he's the one that you're supposed to get if you have a Jedi Holocron and a Sith Holocron, and you pair them. Now you can see that it still turns purple for the pair, but it doesn't stay that way. It won't pair. They just both give up and go back to red before they'll play any of the Bendu tracks. So turn these off. So there we have it, a corrupted Jedi Holocron. Now, from what I understand, what causes this is something to do with the battery being disconnected or the battery running out of charge. You can see that I don't have it plugged in right now, so it is running off of battery power. So the battery is clearly holding a charge. But this thing, the battery did die down to 0 because my son left it on. And then when I went and plugged it in, instead of glowing blue while it was recharging, it started glowing red. And I thought that was weird. I thought maybe it was a battery indicator. So I turned it on, and it started giving me Darth Bane. From what I understand, the solution is to disconnect and reconnect the battery to restart the Jedi Holocron. We're going to see if that actually does what it's supposed to do. Okay, so the fix for this. Between when I stopped the video rolling and when I started it rolling right now, I did a whole bunch of stuff. I unscrewed these little screws in here. I opened this thing up. I detached plug-and-play wires from the board, all kinds of things, and just ended up frustrating myself. I thought I was disconnecting the battery. I disconnected the switches on both sides. Then I took out like 3 layers of internals in here and got down to the part where I was actually seeing the battery, and I saw that it was soldered directly to the circuit board, and I'm looking at it going, detach the battery. Yeah, sure. And then I did a little bit more digging around, and I found out that the person who picked this up for me, there was a little plastic thing right here to break the connection for the battery. And I thought, it can't possibly be that simple. And sure enough, it is that simple. So let me go ahead and show you here, but if you have a holocron that is possessed by the dark side, with mine that happened because the battery went flat dead and then I plugged it into a wall and turned it on. With others, it's because you can do it just by disconnecting the battery right here, plugging it into the wall, and turning it on while it's plugged in and running off the wall, and it'll go to Sith mode. But to get it undone, you just take a piece of paper or a piece of plastic, and on the bottom there's this tiny little groove right here. You put it in there and it breaks connection. So right now the connection to the battery is broken. So if I were to turn this thing, nothing. All right, I pull that pin, and there we go. We are back to a blue Jedi Holocron.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place.
And there we go. No cleansing words or ancient Jedi rituals required. The Holocron was possessed by the dark side. Now it is back to the light. So hopefully this has been of use to you, save you a little bit of the struggle that I went through on this, and if it has, I'll join you back here for more.